Hello there, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this presentation. This is a presentation that will, I believe, help you with your strategies, your principles, your tools, and your nuggets that you can carry with you in your leadership journey. Wherever you may be at the front line, mid-level, or even the senior level, it's always important to be a continuous learner. Leaders are learners. So I bring you greetings. My name is Kevin Wayne Johnson. I reside on the East Coast of the U.S. In the state of Maryland. I'm actually in Howard County in the Columbia and Clarksville area, which is halfway between our nation's capital and the city of Baltimore. I am the founder and CEO of the Johnson Leadership Group. I stood up my company about 2.5 to 3 years ago, following 34 years of total service with the federal government as a mid-level and senior level leader. And one thing that I did learn and I observed and I experienced was good leadership as well as bad leadership. So for the next several minutes, I'm going to walk you through what I believe will be very helpful in terms of becoming a person of influence. Becoming is the operative word as well as influence, because becoming is synonymous with recurring, ongoing, continual. Our learning should never stop. And then being a person of influence, this presentation is all about being a person of positive influence, positively influencing people in your family, in your social and civic organizations, in your church, in your neighborhood, everywhere that you go. When you think about your sphere of influence, let's make a positive change, because I firmly believe, and I stand on this, and it can be validated and verified, that good leaders help to make the world a much better place. So I'm going to walk you through these principles, and it's very important that you understand and gravitate toward and accept and walk in it, because these are very, very key and very, very important for our learning, for our growth, and for our development. And it's very, very key as we go along our journey to make sure that we always take the time to pour into the lives of others as well. So here's some insights to influence. First of all, leadership is influence. Really, to be honest with you, at the core of leadership, it's all about our ability to influence people, to get things done, to have the right attitude, to want to go forward, to be proactive, to see the vision and catch a hold of the vision and move forward with it. But we have to be mindful that our influence with others is not usually in all areas. So that means we need to be aware and cognizant and open and receptive to allowing others on our team who may know a little bit more than we do. They are experts in a particular area, and that's good. That's a good thing. With influence comes responsibility. I like to break this word down into two different words: response hyphen ability. Our ability to respond to what's needed with our leadership. My influence, your influence with others, like I said earlier, is either positive or negative. There's not much wiggle room in between. And our influence definitely can grow. And I'm going to show you in just a few minutes that as we grow our team and we grow our organization as well. And then last but not least, just in terms of some insights, some thoughts, some perspectives, some views, if you would. People of positive influence add value to others. We see the potential in others and we help them. We speak into their lives. We coach and we mentor them. We train them. We teach them. We show them the way, both verbally and non-verbally. So these are some insights into influence. So let's look at 10 ways to increase our influence for the balance of our time together. Remember, the title here is Becoming a Person of Influence. Needless to say, integrity is at the top of the game. A person that keeps their word, a person that walks the walk, talks the talk, shows up on time, is in the place where they say they would be, follows up on what they promised to do, being a person of integrity will increase our ability to be able to influence them, because we take away any questions at all about clarity, about confusion, or not quite understanding how or why to follow us. And so integrity is very, very important. And it really gets down to you and I just keeping our word. You know, being a person of integrity is powerful. It means a lot. And people want to follow a leader with integrity. This next one here is nurture. Now, take a look at the image and think about what that image symbolizes to you. Now, even though we all see the exact same images, because of the diversity of thought that we have, we're taking away slightly different things from this particular image. But as it relates to nurturing, we have a responsibility as it relates to our influence to help people to develop, to mature, and to be the best that they can be. And this particular plant symbolizes where they are right now in terms of their growth and their maturity. And what you can't see is as the plant goes north, the roots are actually going south. And in that soil contains all of the nutrients and all of the nutrition that that plant needs to continue to grow. And so that's synonymous with how we nurture people. We give them the tools and the resources and the facilities that they need to be a success. The last thing that you and I want to do is to hire a good person and not be able to retain them because we haven't given them the tools and the resources that they need. And so at some point, this plant will have to be replanted because it will outgrow the hand that it's currently in. It's just inevitable. And so it is with us in terms of increasing our influence, helping people grow and plant them in the right position, plant them in the right opportunity so that they can continue to grow. Nurturing is not babysitting and it's not babying, but it's looking over, having oversight and helping people along their journey. Faith. Love this one, faith. I tell you, you and I can increase our influence with everyone within our sphere of influence by having faith in them, believing in them, having confidence in them, and showing them in a nonverbal way, but also speaking it verbally, letting people know, you know, I have the utmost faith in you. I believe that you can get this thing done. Because a lot of people doubt themselves. They don't think that because they don't have the proper education, the necessary experience, the needed qualifications, that they can't perform in a particular area. And I have seen time and time again, that's just not the case. They need someone that has faith in them. So speak positivity into the people that are within your sphere of influence. This next one here, as you can take a look at the body language, something's not right. Something's not clicking. There's a disagreement here. There's a disconnection here. So you and I need to be better listeners. I'm not sure if you were aware of this or not, but we speak at a rate that's much lower than the rate with which we hear. We speak at about 180 words a minute, but we listen at about 350 words a minute. So there's a constant disconnect, potentially, unless we take the time to become better listeners. It's a skill that all leaders need to have. So let me walk you through this. First of all, when someone is speaking, and as we increase our ability to listen better, look at the speaker, ask questions. More importantly, ask thought-provoking questions and open-ended questions, because a closed-end question will just get you the one-word response. Don't interrupt, and please don't change the subject. Those two things will drive the recipient crazy. Don't do that. Try to take the emotion out of it as best we can, and responsive listening. An example would be, was I clear? Is there anything that you would like for me to repeat or to go over with you? Um, Anything at all that I can do to help you? And that's responsive listening, because as a person is communicating with you, they do want to know that in fact you are actually listening to what they have to say, even if you disagree, and that's okay, but they want to know that you're listening. Understand is another area that will help us in becoming a person of influence. This gentleman's name is David. David is super happy. He's content. He's in his own element. David is a mathematician, and mathematicians are really into these mathematical formulas and equations, and that's what's represented here on the whiteboard behind him. Now, he understands all of that stuff that's behind him, but the key is, does his audience? So there's calculus and algebra and trigonometry and a number of other mathematical formulas that are on this whiteboard behind him. And most people don't understand at all what it is that he's talking about and what he's doing. So in order to become a person of influence, we do have to take the time out to understand people. Where are they in their personal and professional development? Take an interest in knowing what their likes are. What are their interests? What are some things they do as hobbies outside of the workplace, etc.? Because when you do that, now you're opening up an opportunity for people to have a conversation with us, and they're not walking around internalizing everything that may be happening in their life. Now, I mentioned just a little bit earlier in this area of enlarging, and I said it a little bit differently, but I knew I would get to this particular graphic. We have a responsibility to enlarge people, and that has everything to do with helping them grow. But before we help someone else grow, let's grow ourselves. So leaders are learners, and leaders are readers. I read a book a month minimum. All right. If I'm on the airplane, I can literally, depending on where I'm traveling, I could actually read a book on the airplane. And it helps to grow who I am, give me different insight, different views, different perspectives. I have an opportunity to look at life personally and professionally through a slightly different lens, because I'm able to read and get new knowledge and information and understanding. So as we grow ourselves, then we grow our people. And then as we grow our people, now we grow the organization, and everybody benefits. But it starts with us being a person of influence, enlarging others. In alignment with that, you and I are navigators. We are like GPS. So whether you use your GPS on your phone or in your vehicle or any other gadget that you might have, you'll notice that that navigator helps us to get from point A to point B in the minimum amount of time. And it also kind of takes a look at some of the obstacles that might be in the way and gives us the opportunity to recalibrate and reroute. And so it is with us. People that are within our sphere of influence, we have an opportunity to help them go west when in fact they're going east, and we know they should go north, but perhaps they're going south. And we can step into their lives and help to navigate. So that's what a person of influence does, is help people to navigate the journey. Imagine yourself just driving on a country road. You know, you have to deal with potholes and speed bumps and curves and hills. Imagine yourself driving in inclement weather. You have to be very, very cognizant of the gear that you shift into to help with your driving in the snow or on ice. And what we're doing is we're navigating along our journey. And so it is with a person of influence. Connects. How well are we connecting with people, and how well do we connect others together so that they can be the best that they can be? So another way that we can increase our influence is by connecting with people. And I tell you, just very, very informally, again, asking people, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's the family? Hope things are going well. anything interesting happened over the weekend. We're just making a connection with people, and it's very important. And this is how we increase our influence. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with growing people and also navigating for people, and that we empower them. And so that awesome responsibility of being able to delegate people, to empower them to do all that they can do, give them very clear, concise, and crisp instructions and guidance and guidelines as you want them to walk toward that desired outcome. And then coming back and saying, now, make sure that you come back to me if you have any questions. If there's anything at all that I can do to help, just let me know. And then we get out of their way. No micromanaging, let them go for it. Let them figure it out. And that's how we empower people. And when you empower people, you're putting faith in people. You're building their confidence. You're having them to be more bold, and you're preparing them for the next level, because oftentimes you and I see things in people that they can't see in themselves. And I'll conclude here. I want you to be mindful of what you do as a leader. Again, whether you're frontline, mid-level, or senior level, 5 years of experience, 10, 15, 20, 30 or more. This is very key and it's very important, because we have a responsibility to reproduce others so that we can pass that baton and they can continue to run. 85% of leaders do attract followers. So it's not that difficult. It's not that challenging to attract followers, because people do need to be led. 10% of leaders attract other leaders, but only 5% of leaders reproduce other leaders. And this is key, and this is very important. So in order for us to increase our influence, we need to be diligent about other leaders that we're able to produce and other leaders that we are able to put in place when you and I move on to our next assignment. So I want to thank each and every one of you again so much for the opportunity to spend some time with you, to deposit some strategies and principles for you to think about, for you to put in place. I really appreciate this opportunity. And I am just extremely excited to be around for the entire conference. Anything at all that I can do to help, support, and advocate, don't hesitate to let me know. This is Kevin Wayne Johnson. Thank you all so much, and I look forward to meeting you one day. God bless.